How's it going, YouTube Nation? I am Average Will, and welcome back to the channel. It is another Saturday sit down. This is what, number 9? Crazy that we've already done 9 of these. And today we have a pretty cool guest. I've done some YouTube content creators and stuff like that, but today we have our first, I guess, artist. And I don't understand what's going on with my system. I hope I didn't just crash, but hope you guys are doing well. And we're going to bring in the guest here in a second. And I didn't crash. For some reason, I had some stuff going on my computer, and I'm hoping I didn't crash. But, you know, it wouldn't be an Average Will show if we didn't have issues. Today, we're going to have a special guest. He is creator of El Krudo. It is Manny. Let's go ahead and bring Manny on. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Thanks for that, John. And just a little technical check. It looks like you're doing fine. I'm watching the stream.
Cool. So. All right, yeah, because I had it pulled up here, and for some reason it was like kind of being a little buggy. But we'll move on with it.
Yeah, so, no, your StreamYard's a little buggy, but your content's looking good.
Okay, cool. All right, good. All right, it's always have issues. You know, you pay for the high dollar stuff for internet, and you have a couple people in the house doing other stuff, and it seems to mess up my stuff every time. So
blows up your show.
Yeah. So how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm really happy to be here, and it's great to meet you. I've seen you around the interwebs a little bit, so it's nice to get the chance to say what's up.
Yeah, that's cool. I appreciate you coming on. Again, I was turned into your direction by Cole from Comic Burrito. He had reached out to me and said that, because I was talking in regards to starting to do reviews and everything, and he had reached out to me and said, hey, you know, you should reach out to Manny for El Krudo. He's got a great story going on through Indiegogo. And so I ended up going out and checking out the Indiegogo, and I read the premise of the book, and I was just like, wow, you know, this sounds cool. You know, you got an orangutan fighting in the Vietnam War. So I ended up, you know, I wanted to support it, so I supported it. Got my package this past week, opened it up. I did the box opening on Thursday, and sat down and read it. And man, the story, story was good. Story was good. I really liked it. I mean, again, I'm a huge indie fan. So first thing I have to ask is, how did you conceive this story? Because it was, you know, just interesting to see with having an orangutan in the Vietnam War.
Well, I don't know if I might have said this story before. Anyway, first let me just say thanks so much for supporting the book. It means a lot. The burrito, they're super chill. I'm glad Cole put us in contact, and I've been watching your content. Your content's super chill. So yeah, happy to be here. Yeah, in terms of the first one I ever wrote was like back in my early days, like my late teens, early 20s. I was doing a lot of writing, just like creative freestyle writing. And at that time, I was a big Hunter S. Thompson fan and Hemingway. So I was probably drinking too much as a young man as well. So I used to like leave parties and go home and just write. That was kind of, I really enjoyed writing, and I was experimenting with different stuff. So of course, also read a lot of Sin City, and I was reading Spawn. But anyway, the Sin City, like I really love those Marv like internal monologues. So I'd write a lot of first-person stuff. So one night, it was actually before I was going on a big trip. I was just kind of hanging out by myself in my house, and I had like 12-pack of beer, and I drank like 3/4 of it. And then I just had an idea, and I wrote like the first episode in like 15 minutes. And then like the next day, I read it to my buddy because we were on a trip together, and I was reading it to him, and he laughed. And so, like, over the course of a trip, we went down to South America for like 6 months. So over the course of that trip, I was writing a bunch of little stories from the perspective of El Krudo, and I'd read it to him on the bus and stuff, and he'd laugh. So yeah, that's how it started. A bunch of little short stories, and then I came back and, you know, put a little bit more context around it and filled it out a little bit. And yeah, he's been a fun character to write.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I noticed that with reading the first issue, when we got to the introduction of El Krudo to him and his inner monologue where he was jumping out of the side of the chopper and starting to get into the fray, It was like it was fun. It was just a fun read and everything. And I mean, it's one thing. So was this your first actual? Obviously you're working on more issues. You got issue 5 that you're working on now. Is this your first actual published art piece of work?
Yeah, it totally is. And I submitted some of my stuff to like magazines to get published, and I never got picked up. I got a couple of rejection letters. I wish I would have kept them just for motivation. And then, just how like life goes, I just started doing other things. I went to grad school, and my creative outlet kind of got pushed on the side, on the back burner, I guess. And then after grad school, I got a pretty good job, and I started making a little bit more cash. And I was like, oh, I want to try to get this Krudo thing going again. So before I had a lot of art done for the character to like do concept art and character design and stuff. And we also did a short cartoon. Initially, I wanted to make a cartoon. So we did a 6-minute flash animation short, and we pitched that. We got a couple bites, but nothing ever came of it. So finally I was just like, screw it, I want to do it on my own, and got some money together, asked some of my buddies for some money, and I said, hey, it's going to cost me this much to get a book going. And so I made the book, and now I'm just trying to sell it.
Nice.
Now I'm just trying to get the word out. So it's been a long time coming, and this is definitely the first thing I have, but we do have another title coming out this year.
Okay.
So I'm going to have 2 titles.
Can you divulge a little bit about what that is going to be about, or you got to keep that kind of close to the chest?
It's just going to be a fun book. It's like an intro level comic. It'll be kind of like short anthologies, a bunch of shorts.
Oh, cool. Okay.
It's just like a platform to do a lot of interesting stories, and there's definitely going to be apes involved. We're crazy ape indie comics, so I don't know how to make a book without an ape in it.
Nice. No, it definitely. I like the. I mean, and I like history. I like the war aspect. So to have him fighting in a war and everything, and just the scenes and everything, and you don't hold off on any kind of gore, which isn't a bad thing either. I like everything. Obviously, with the artist, with the covers, I noticed. I mean, which I love. I love the for issue number 4, the Virgin, this cover here, which you got it above right over your shoulder. I was surprised. Like, I didn't expect it. Maybe I didn't read it in there, but when I saw that, I was just like, oh, that's a sweet cover. So,
cool. Glad you liked it.
Who was? I mean, I didn't see who was the artist of this cover, the Virgin variant.
Sure. So Zeros has been our artist since episode 1. So I met Zeros on Craigslist, and he's been working with me for episode 1, and he did every page, the cover. He's done everything.
Oh, I lost him. Oh, hold on, folks. It looks like we got a little disconnected here. Bear with me as we get Manny back here, and we'll get him. Here he is. There you are.
Sorry about that.
It happens.
Something cut out. So I was talking about the artist. So Zeros did everything for 1, 2, and 3. He did all the lines, all the colors, all the covers. He's the man. So he did a really great job. Starting in episode 3, I started working with a gentleman named German Nobile. He's an Argentinian comic book artist, and we met on Art Station. And I really liked his work. He kind of does some funky styles. He did a book with Alan Moore, actually. He did like all of the covers for this Alan Moore series, which is called the series that Alan Moore contributed to, which is God is Dead. And so I got in touch with German, and he did a lot more work. He said he had some availability, and so we worked something out. And so German did the cover for EK4. And with EK4, if you've read it, I think you said you've read them all. Mm-hmm. It's something totally different. So I wanted to make sure that the cover of EK4 was just something totally wild that nobody would ever expect. That has nothing to do with an orangutan in Vietnam. Just to kind of, it also did it to kind of like wedge open a little bit our creative freedom. So now after EK4, we can do we can do just about anything, right? People aren't. It was never intended to be just a orangutan in Vietnam book. Like we do a lot of dream sequences and things like that. So we kind of tried to kick the door open with that with EK4. German was a big contributor for that, and so was Andres Ponce and Bodhi Shaw. So it was zeros all the way up until episode 3, and then episode 4 we worked with 4 different artists because it is a double issue. It's 52 pages, right. So that's a lot of work for anybody. So we brought on some other artists to help with the legwork.
Yeah, I know that was one of the things I noticed too. Was as I was opening, I was like, "Ooh, that's an exercise issue." So, yeah, it was definitely. I definitely like the style. I like the flow. So, right now you are currently working on issue number 5. What do we have? Do we have like a potential timeline on when that one will be raring to go?
Yeah. So episode 5, the layouts and pencils. It's going to be a more traditional length. I think it's 24 pages of content. It'll be 28 or 32 pages total, depending if we put a bunch of pinups in there or not. I haven't really decided. The layouts are all done. Pencils are all done. The inks are starting to come in. There's 2 pages that I want to tweak the layouts a little bit. Covers coming in. So after that, the color, German has been doing the colors. He's turning around those pretty quick. So I wouldn't be surprised if we are get to the finish line middle of July, middle of August. And so then at that point, I'll probably, once I know that the book's coming to a head and we just have to do letters and some other stuff, I'll probably do a Kickstarter for that. So I'm shooting for the Kickstarter like mid-August. So then you never know with printing. Printing's the hardest part.
Right.
Printing's such a pain. So I imagine if I get the books by like mid-September, end of September, that would be awesome. That's my goal. So
cool. Now will be because I know like the current Indiegogo is for El Krudo, the issue number 4. Is it going to be a brand new campaign, or is it going to fall under the same campaign?
Yeah, so it'll be a brand new campaign. So we did a Kickstarter before the Indiegogo, and the Kickstarter we had like 100 backers. We raised almost $3,000, something like that, $3,000. So at that time, I just did a small print run, and I started to run out of books because I printed enough for the 100, and then a couple extra, and then I started selling them afterwards online. And the episode 4 was going pretty quick. So I wanted to print some more. So then I did the Indiegogo just to raise funds for a second printing. So that's what the Indiegogo campaign was. So I think we raised like, I don't know, $700-800. I think it's like $800 now. So so that was enough to get a second printing. So now I got more EK4s, right? Because there's going to be new people for that. I want to make sure that I got EK4s as well. So I'll do a Kickstarter first, see how well that goes, and if that's successful, I'll probably run an Indiegogo as well a month afterwards and change up some of the reward packages. I've also found that there's different audiences on Kickstarter.
We lost him again. We might just have a bad connection issue. We'll wait for him not back in, but. Again, if you guys want to check out the Kickstarter and everything for the Indiegogo for this one, I'm going to bring him back in here. It is down in the description below as well as the Instagram. So sorry about that. It's all right.
No, we'll definitely do some more crowdfunding. It's a great way to get people to find our books, and as opposed to me just yelling on Twitter like, "Hey, check out our monkey books." Those are nice platforms. So I really like those platforms. I'm a supporter of those platforms, definitely.
That's cool, man. That's awesome. So you kind of talked about your inspiration, like with coming up with the story and everything. What's currently on your pull list?
My pull list, the Swamp Thing, the Ron V Swamp Thing has been killing it. I got an interesting one in last Wednesday called Armageddon 5000. I essentially scanned the Dark Horse and scanned the image first, and anything that looks cool on there. Orphan and the Five Beasts. If you're not pulling that one, I don't know what you're reading. That's been super fun. Reminds me of like old school video games. Those would be some of the highlights that I've been reading these last couple weeks.
Okay.
I'm giving Alien a shot on Marvel. I don't know. So far, it's not bad, but
Yeah, it's been surprising. I was giving that thing no chance. I was like, I'll pick it up to see what it is, and it's been better than I've expected. But we'll see how they continue it.
yeah, one of the first books that I got was a neighborhood friend of mine had the Alien versus Predator run, and he was a couple years older than me, and I was just like a kid. I was like, I don't know, 8 or 9 or something, and I found that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So I've always just thought I thought Dark Horse did a great Alien versus Predator. Dark Horse did great with the Alien and Predator,
Yeah,
those franchises. So I don't know. We'll see how Marvel does, but yeah, I mean, so far I think they're pretty cool.
yeah, because we'll have Predator. I will say this though, like when they were showing, I liked the Alien Marvel crossover covers. There was a lot of nice ones with it. The ones I've seen for Predator so far that they've previewed, I don't know, they just seem kind of clunky and everything. But I'm going to be interested to see how they handle the Predator series as well, and to see if we'll ever work our way into an actual crossover event, something like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, they're going to have to do a lot to suspend my disbelief,
Right.
because that's just apples and oranges, oil and water to
Yeah.
me. But yeah, that Predator, my favorite Predator comic was that Concrete Jungle. I don't know if you ever
Yep.
ever
Yeah.
got a chance to read that, but that was so cool. I remember as a kid, we would hang out like at recess. I was probably in like second or third grade, and we would read it behind the Coke machines because we didn't want the teachers to find us. And we had this beat up copy of like a fourth printing #1, and me and my friend Ryan O'Connell, we would just like read it in the back, like, oh my
Nice.
gosh, look, his stomach's exploding. Oh my god, we were freaking out. So yeah, that is a special place in my heart. That
Yeah.
Concrete Jungle.
So, are you into movies? What kind of movies do you enjoy watching?
Yeah, I'm definitely into movies. Sci-fi. I love sci-fi. Um,
Okay.
yeah, my dad was a big Trekkie, and my it was like watching Star Trek: The Next Generation was like a family ritual. Um, so yeah, anything sci-fi. Um, and something that stands out that I'm thinking in the last 10 years was Interstellar. That
Yeah.
soundtrack was awesome. I thought that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? We went to the theaters recently. That now that everything's kind of chilling down and we're all vaccinated, my girl and I we went and saw Godzilla versus Kong, and that was super fun.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen a movie like that in a while. But yeah, definitely a movie guy, and definitely anything sci-fi. I'll watch anything sci-fi,
Nice.
however corny it is.
Yeah. I know we got that. I know it's been nice. I mean, obviously with the pandemic, how um, you have Disney kind of doing their thing, but they're saying, hey, we're going to release a movie. You still have to pay $30 to watch it. But then Netflix is saying, hey, we're going to come out with movies. And then Warner Brothers or HBO Max doing their thing where they're dropping 2 movies. We watched Godzilla King Kong on through HBO Max, and it was awesome to watch that. It was cool to see. Again, you got giant monsters fighting, and you get
Yeah,
to see Mecha Godzilla. It's like, you know, so
yeah. We were like poking holes in that plot line the whole time,
yeah.
but it was still super fun to watch. Like
Oh yeah, yeah,
I didn't care. I
yeah.
didn't care. It was just, and it was fun to get out. We had a big tub of ice cream and a root beer, and we're like,
Oh,
oh my
nice.
god, we're like, this is living, we were like,
Nice. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, it
we
was
went.
super fun.
What did we go see recently? We went to the movies to see something. My daughter and I went and saw. Oh my god, now I'm drawing a blank. Oh, we went and saw Demon Slayer, the Demon
Nice.
Slayer Mugen Train movie. Yeah, because I got into. I mean, it was funny. I'm not huge into anime or the manga. More manga just because it's more comic like.
Yeah.
But I remember when she was little and she wasn't feeling well one night, and I was laying with her in her room, and Cartoon Network came on. It was whenever they had Toonami, and we saw a couple different anime, and I was like, "What is this?" And then I kind of fell down that rabbit hole a little bit. But yeah, she's a huge fan of Demon Slayer, and I enjoyed watching it with her. So we went and saw that movie.
Nice. Yeah, and that's cool when you have something you can go with your kid. I don't have kids, so I
Right.
get to see PG-13 and R
Yeah.
stuff. So
Right. Yeah, no, she's 19, so it's not that bad. But
I was gonna say.
yeah, no, she's 19, and then I've got the 6-year-old, so we've got two different spectrums there. But
Nice.
yeah, and then like I got her, which is cool, is like I got her into Something's Killing the Children, where she loves, because she likes strong female lead characters.
Yeah.
And when I had her, I'm like, well, here, I had the trades. I'm like, here, read these 2 trades. This has a strong female lead character. She read them, and she came back into my office with a big old smile on her face. She's like, I freaking love it. I'm like, that's the only comic I can get her to read, but she loves it, and she's excited for the origin story of Erica that comes out this Wednesday.
Yeah, I thought kids were mainly, or the next generation are mainly into manga. That's great to hear. Kids reading comics.
Yeah, she likes she reads the webtoons and the manga and everything. Like, she's big on that. What is it? The Jujutsu Kaisen. I think that's one of them that she's a huge fan of, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, if I could get her into, the fact that I got her into, I've tried to get her into other ones like Proctor Valley, and I gave her the first 2 issues of Black Cotton to read because I think she would like that story as well.
Nice.
Man, trying to corrupt her.
That's great. You're passing along the torch.
Trying, and then my son, we read Kanto and that stuff. So he loves them. Oh, we lost him again. Broken Bridges. Our guest today is the creator of El Krudo, Manny. Let's get him back in here.
I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or what, but something's a little spotty.
Yeah, it happens. It's all right. No, I mean, trust me. We've had some issues here where I've had no sound. My mic's blowing up, stuff like that. So it's just a normal day here on the Average World channel. So, all right. I usually ask my guests this: who are your 3 favorite superheroes?
In terms of superheroes, my number 1 would be Spawn for sure. I found Spawn when I was a kid watching HBO. They had the HBO series on Spawn. And then once I saw that, I found out it had a comic book, and it's been on my pull list pretty much ever since. So I've been pulling Spawn for years. Big fan of Spawn. The second one I would probably say is Marv from Sin City. What I like about Marv is that he's just so crazy and brutal, and he's like borderline psychotic, if he doesn't take his pills.
Right.
But he also has like a heart of gold, and he wants nothing but to protect good people. And that's like his main motivation. So I thought I like that quality of him. And then probably a toss up between Wolverine and Punisher.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I guess you can tell what era I grew up in reading comics, right?
Right.
By that. But yeah, I'd say those would be my top 3.5. Would be those 3.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. I just got to take care of something. So did you feel like Mickey Rourke did a good job portraying him in the movie?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I don't know who else could have played it, but I think the makeup really helped. And at that time, I didn't really know Mickey Rourke from other than when he was like younger. So it didn't, like, in my mind, it was like a new actor because I couldn't. It wasn't until I saw The Wrestler, which came out a little bit after, that I was like, oh yeah, Mickey Rourke's old and beat up and pretty gnarly looking.
Right.
So yeah, I thought he did a pretty good Marv. Yeah, I thought it was, and I thought the movies were good. I really liked the books, and they didn't make Hell and Back. I don't know if you've read.
I have not. That's one that's on my 2 that I want to read because I've seen the movies, and I liked the first one better than the second one. And then I wanted to really get into the series. That's one of the ones that I'm going to track down and either get the collector's edition so I can read it all at once, or try to pick them up throughout.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic Sin City story. But what I liked about Hell and Back was something that stood out and actually kind of inspired El Krudo 4, which was there's a sequence where he gets shot with like some tranquilizer drugs, right? Like the bad guys shoot him with tranquilizers, and he starts to hallucinate. And as he's hallucinating, he's fighting off the bad guys, and he's like envisioning like Charlie Brown and dinosaurs.
Oh man.
And Rambo and all of these other things. So that kind of was like some inspiration for El Crudo 4 was Hell and Back.
Nice.
That sequence is really cool, and you could tell that Frank Miller had a lot of fun making that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely recommend that one.
Yeah, definitely have to. That's again, it's on my list of stuff that I want to go back and read, and really catch up. Same with Spawn. Spawn's on my list because I enjoyed watching the cartoon, the animated series that they had on HBO, and then I liked the movie, and then to go back and actually read. I know people say it's a daunting task. Obviously, there's over 300 and whatever it's 16, and then you've got all the Spawn universe that's coming out. So I'm excited about that. I've got them added to my list, my pull list, so I can check them out. Like King Spawn, they just announced that that's going to be coming out, and all of those titles.
Yeah, I added those to my list as well. I can't believe it took them so long to do spinoffs like that.
Right.
Back in the day, they did a Violator spinoff, and it was okay, but I think they only made a couple issues of it. It definitely didn't last. But yeah, the spinoffs, the King Spawn. I don't know if they're doing a medieval Spawn. But yeah, ever since I would say like right around 290, 295, the quality just really amped up. And Jason Shawn Alexander was doing a lot of pages for a while, and then he was doing Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that art style, I think fits really well with the story. Yeah, and they still use some of those same tropes, like the like the talking heads, like filling you in on narration of what's going on,
right,
and like different ideological perspectives of commenting on the same set of actions. I thought that's an interesting take. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. Spawn's great, and they got so many rad covers, and every year or every 2 years there's a Frazetta cover, homage cover or something. So
okay,
yeah,
that's awesome. So. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one I want to check out. I'm looking forward to it, because I think they said there's like 6 or 7 titles, because I think they're supposed to be doing a Gunslinger solo series by itself and stuff like that. So it'll be cool to see all the different little titles that come out, and then I'll make my way through all the backlog of everything to try to get caught up. So definitely looking forward to that. So are there any series? You talked about the Aliens and Predators, which is cool because anytime I see those, like I see the Aliens versus Predator series pop up, I'm trying to grab them. Like if I see it on an Instagram claim, or if I see somebody put it up through one of the YouTube auctions or even on eBay, I try to grab them because I'm, again, being a huge fan of that. Is there any book that you have, like that you want to really have in your collection? Like you got to, like, you have to track it down.
Yeah, something that I haven't read the manga of that I've always wanted to is Akira. I've heard that Akira is just, I heard that manga is just awesome. I'm a huge fan of the movie. I watch that and Blade Runner director's cut every year. Just like, I just have to watch it. I just love it so much. Yeah. I just want to read it. That's something that I've never gotten. I want to read it. So I think one day I'm going to splurge and get a collector's hardcover or something. I haven't pulled the trigger on it. One thing that I did pull the trigger on that I'm really excited to get is there's a Madman, Michael Allred, coming out I think in June, and I did order that for my LCS. Okay. So Madman's legit. I saw one issue that I thumbed through one time at a Barnes and Noble, and I got the X-Ray Robot series from Dark Horse. Was it Dark Horse or was it Image? I don't think it was Image actually, because I remember Madman should have been Image, and I don't believe it was for X-Ray Robot. But anyway, yeah, Michael Allred was he actually lived in just a couple miles away from where I was at, and I met his son one time. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That's a Madman collector's edition, hardbound. Nice. Hardcover. So yeah, so I should be getting that next month. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to.
That's awesome. That's cool. So we're getting back into conventions. They seem like they're going to happen. Are there any conventions that you're going to make it out to? Because I know you're in the Pacific Northwest. So, are there any that you're going to try to make it out to?
There are. I started applying already. There's one called SummerCon here in Washington. I actually just got the rejection notice a week ago saying they're filled. Emerald City, I applied. I haven't heard back. I think everybody's filled this year. I've had real problems getting availability.
Yeah.
Cedar Falls in Idaho, they have one coming up in September, October. I think I'm going to apply. I sent out applications to have a table to 3 different ones, and I only heard back from one.
Oh, we lost me. We'll get him back up here. Thank you all for joining us, though. I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out. Let's get him back in here again.
Sorry about that.
It's okay, man. No worries.
I don't think 2021 is going to be the year of El Krudo at conventions. I think I'm going to have to wait until 2022, but I'm definitely going to start sending out applications as soon as they become available for next year. I think the pandemic threw everybody for a loop. There's just so much demand to get a table.
Oh, yeah.
It's been a challenge, but I do look forward to it. And I've always pictured, myself out there and sharing our book with people. In fact, when I was living in Eugene, Oregon, they have a downtown activity zone permit where you can just sell on the street in downtown. So I would set up my table like once a week, just for a couple hours, just like downtown, set up all my books, and everybody that walked by would be like, hey, you like comics? Hey, you like orangutans? Hey, you like the color orange? Hey, you like the Vietnam War? Whatever. And just hawk my book out. And that was a lot of fun. Like being able to be in front of people and, talk to them about comics and share a book was a lot of fun. So I do look forward. And that's really that's like the easiest way to sell the books and to get it out there. It's super hard, like online, to just like post stuff and chat and network and ask people to go to like a website and order it or whatever. That's much more challenging than when you're in front of somebody face to face and you get to talk like we're talking, and we get to share like what are you interested in, and you just have that kind of connection. And then pretty much everybody that bought. So when I started doing that, I had episodes 1 and 2 out. And then once I got episodes 3 out, I was so excited to go back out there because people would come by that already read 1 and 2, and then they'd buy number 3, and we talk. And that's probably been the most fun of this experience of making comics and getting it out there is that getting in front of people. So I really hope I get to do that again soon.
Yeah, and it'd be good. I mean, I know with the conventions they're limiting too, because they're trying to. I know that I keep getting the notifications that they're trying to estimate what they're going to allow inside the buildings and everything. So that's one of the drawbacks too. So hopefully, it would be good. Like even if 2022 is the year of the ape, it'll be great because again, people should check this out. If you guys like indies, if you like a fun story, just I don't know how else to describe it besides it's a fun read. Sit down, it's quick. I got through them pretty quickly because it's not too, I don't want to say is it overindulgent. It's what it is, and which is a great fun war story about an orangutan fighting in the Vietnam War, and then with issue number 4, the different stuff in there, it's a lot of fun. So in the description is the link to the El Krudo Instagram and also to the Indiegogo. Are they still able to go in and buy copies through the Indiegogo, right? Yeah,
we'll be on in demand on Indiegogo. I'll probably wait until I've really, since it's been on in demand, I've only sold about 3 or 4, but I'll keep it up there just in case. I have, for that Indiegogo campaign, we do have a special limited edition print. It's this print by Elliot Rodriguez. I have like, I think 8 more of those prints. So as soon as I'm out of those prints, I'll probably close the in demand and then just sell them on our website, and then save the rest of the EK4s for when we launch EK5, because we're going to have the bundle package, right? So when new people that come in and they find El Krudo, we're going to be able to offer 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 all in one crowdfund. So that's the plan. I'll keep it up till I sell 5, 10 more, and then take it down. And by then, hopefully, EK5 will be ready, and I'll be back out here doing the circuit.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's definitely a good story. I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much for coming on. You're the first well, aside from my daughter, but she's not into anything like this, but you're the first non-content creator. So it's nice to have an artist or, someone who's a writer or artist on the show. And man, I can't wait to see issue 5. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of El Krudo and see where you go with it. So is there anything you want to leave the chat with before we get out of here?
I just want to say that means a lot. The fact that somebody's looking forward to our work, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's so much fun making these things and being able to share with other people that, like, you can write a crazy 8 story, send it out, and like people read it and they get it and they like it. So yeah, I love indie comics. I think it's a great medium. I'm super stoked that we get to do this, and thanks so much for supporting indie comics, not just our book, but other books.
Yeah. No, definitely dig the story. So, and again, thank you so much for coming on. Okay, there. I thought you froze there for a second. Everyone else, thank you so much for hanging out and watching. Again, I have fun doing these little Saturday sit downs, and I appreciate everyone coming out, hanging out in the chat, and getting to know our guest. And next week we'll have another show. And as always, tell somebody you love them. Check in on your family and friends, and definitely check out the Instagram. And if why it's still active on demand, check it out. If you guys are fans of indie, if you want a fun story to read, go ahead and check out the Indiegogo. Link is in the description. Thank you, Manny, for being on again. Thank you for everyone here in the chat. I am Average Will, and we are out.
Have a great day. Thanks again.